Grace Lyons. Go ahead and fire away.
Well, Grace, just what's it like for you been getting back in the swing of things after the time you missed?
It feels back to normal, I would say. I know when you take time off, obviously it takes a little bit to get back, but you know, if you're doing your job when you're taking rest or out, then you're making sure that you're scouting pitchers, you're thinking about game plans and things like that, which I think is one of the hardest things to do offensively. So then once you get your swing going, it's kind of just riding a bike. But it's fun to be back and just the energy and getting vocal again. I think, I'm excited for this series especially because it's kind of leading up into that. So, yeah, I feel good.
As a leader, what's it like when, as a leader, okay, as a leader, what's it like to see the younger players and maybe players playing different positions get reps and just see them perform in different roles? What's
Yeah.
it like?
Honestly, I think this team is probably the most universal, I would say, just with people, literally everyone being able to play everywhere and at any moment. I know Coach says that a lot, that she feels comfortable with anyone out there. So it's cool to see young ones, but also even veterans who are playing positions maybe that they haven't in the past, but doing it confidently and humbly, being able to do that for the team. That's definitely something that makes our team super unique because people aren't complaining about the positions that they're in. They're just taking it, owning their roles. If it is in the dugout, they're owning that role. But it's cool to see young ones step up, and even if it's late in the game, they get their opportunities, and they're doing everything they can to knock the ball down, see pitches, have good at-bats. That's all you can ask of them.
Grace, it looked like you really got your swing together at Iowa State, did you? I mean, it looked like you were swinging the bat well.
Yeah, I felt super smooth. Seeing good pitches and hitting them hard. That's kind of how you simplify it. So I think it was a great weekend to do that and to just feel super confident at the plate.
Grace, can you describe what it's like to ramp up this weekend when you play Texas? I know you want to stay even keeled and not go high and low and stuff like that, but when you play Texas and you're playing them in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I know it can get very emotional when you have that sort of atmosphere around you. It's Red River rivalry kind of thing. That's what you dream of when you're young, all those rivalry games. But I think it's important to stay neutral and know that we can bring passion, but also just kind of keep it under control to where good innings come, yeah, you celebrate it, but you get back down to neutral, and then you get ready for the next half inning. But it's going to be cool with the huge atmosphere at Hall of Fame Game 1. That's going to be super fun, kind of World Series feel. So I'm excited for that and for the newcomers to feel that and experience that now, and then just prepare that for the rest of the series and then the rest of conference and season.
Is that one of your jobs to kind of, as the captain and as a sixth-year senior or whatever, to keep everybody level? And is that a new thing for you to not allow others to get too excited or too down or whatever?
Yeah, I think as a leader, it's important to feel your team and understand how they respond. That's something that this team responds differently, and just how they are. I know each team's different, so I think it's important to know when they do get excited or frustrated, how to bring that back to neutral. So it's cool just to have all the different personalities, but to know which ones kind of need that reminder, but also which ones just feed off of that and that energizes them. So I think it's very unique person to person, but as a team, you have to make sure that you are that kind of that neutral voice and passion, but still bring that passion.
You talk about that environment at Hall of Fame, and obviously it'll be a little bit different this weekend, but what do you remember from maybe your first time in that environment? How much different is it from what you faced to that point, and how beneficial can it be for, like you said, some of these newcomers to get to experience a little bit of it before getting to Oklahoma City?
Yeah. I think my freshman year, I don't know if we ever played up there until Big 12 tournament. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But all I remember is at the World Series, I'm sitting there just in awe and kind of not scared, but just nervous because of how many people are all around you. And it's gotten to a point, I'm blessed enough to have been there enough times to be kind of humbled by how many people are there, but also just, take it in and soak it in. But also it's the same game. You're between the white lines and you're competing your tail off. So I think having that experience is awesome to have that under my belt, and just to remind the newbies that, yes, people are here to watch you, and why not let that just kind of keep you calm and know that they're watching and they're excited to be there, same as you are.
Grace, how much did the non-conference schedule this season really help prepare you guys for what's about to happen?
Yeah, it was one of the toughest preseasons, as we call it, just kind of getting those top 25 teams to play us. And I think that was something that allows us to elevate our game early on, instead of just kind of riding up to that point of conference. So, that first weekend, we had tough opponents, and I think that tests us in our preparation. But ultimately, if we're playing this tough competition all the way through the season, that should allow us to grow constantly, and just continue to elevate our game when they elevate theirs. And I think Serena Williams had a cool a quote or a video about when she plays, everyone's going to play their best against her. So no matter who we're playing, I think it's cool that we get their best, and the rest of the season, that's how it's going to be. And we're excited for that because we're still growing and getting better.
Grace, who is this program's main rival? We think about Oklahoma State, we think about Texas, the history with UCLA. Does this program have a main rival?
I don't know. I know OU fans would pick their own, and I think everyone kind of has their own experience, from sport to sport, or from hometown OU fans to another. But honestly, I love playing good competition. So whoever is going to come at us, we're excited to play them. I think that's a rivalry in itself. So whoever it is, whether it's they're coming back from a game that we had with them last year. That's another chance for, I would say, a rivalry. But honestly, anyone who's coming at us with that mentality that we do, that's the best competition. That's what we want.
What do you remember most from playing them last year in Oklahoma City? Was there a play or a moment or anything like that?
I always remember special moments with Texas, just because, it's that Sooner bred, Sooner born kind of thing that you always want to have fun with those series. So I think last year, during the World Series, obviously we got to play them twice, and I remember turning a double play with TRA. I don't even remember home runs anymore because our girls just go off. So it's cool to see TRA, Jossie, Hanson, Jada, all those highlights of just them doing their thing. So it's cool to kind of watch those back, but also focus on what's ahead. We don't need to think back on what we did, but just excited for what's to come. And they're a new team, we're a new team. So kind of looking ahead is what we're doing.
It seems like every time you all play at Hall of Fame in the last couple of years, Alyssa comes through in big ways. What is it about her and her demeanor, her personality maybe, her makeup that helps her excel in those kind of situations?
Yeah, she's just a straight competitor. I think when things are thrown her way, she handles it very passionately but confidently. And, in big moments, she's going to bring that fist pump, and we know that big, excitement that she gets after it with. And, I don't even think specifically Hall of Fame, but any big game, I know that she's going to have a clutch play. She's going to give it everything she's got. So I just love her enthusiasm and passion and what she brings to the game, because it's cool to be beside her now, playing with her, and instead of just being behind me. I can't see what goes on behind me. I love when I'm next to her, seeing her get feisty and all of that. So I'm excited for this season with her, and just all the big games that we have coming, and just watching her just excel at that high level.
And what kind of growth have you seen from her from last year to this?
Oh yeah. With her passion comes sometimes, things could get big, but I've seen her really settle down and make those big moments smaller and just stay under control. Because when you're at the corners, you've got to deal with bunts, you've got to deal with steals, shots down the line. And I've seen her stay really composed in those big moments. She gets excited afterwards, but to make those plays, she stays super simple and kind of just that neutral in the moment that has allowed her to have those big moments.
Kind of a fun question I've been asking your teammates. I want to ask you the same one: is why number 3? Why Why do you pick your number?
Yeah, that's a fun question. I love that. So I always grew up a Jeter fan. So I was always number 2 growing up. And then when I came here, Sid Romero was 2. So I was like, hey, Sid, like, I was a freshman. I didn't have any, like, okay, she's amazing. She's a stud. I thought, oh, I'll just take your number after. But then I realized you can't take Sydney Romero's number. So then I was like, okay, I played basketball in high school, and I was number 3. And I was number 3 for the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And just that kind of reminder, and I've stuck with it. And I just love that reminder on the field. And I also just, it's one more than 2. So kind of a little reminder for both.
For more information, you can visit tulsaworld.com.